The road to New Orleans will start in a few months. Let's get ready for the ride. Gas up the cars, baby. Let's get to New Orleans. Gas it up. Let's go.
Hey, thank you, B-Mac, mate. I'll see you all later. As always, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Oh, my bad. I meant to come in. I forgot. I missed it. Wait. Oh, I will do it one more time because it is good. Let's go back to B-Mac.
Yeah.
I love this because I'm playing this clip because B-Mac has been talking about Steelers going to New Orleans. One more time.
The road to New Orleans will start in a few months. Let's get ready for the ride. Gas up the cars, baby. Let's get to New Orleans. Gas it up. Let's go.
Hey, thank you, B-Mac, mate. I'll see you all later. As always, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. How are you, Bubba? What's going on, mate?
I'm so pumped. You can tell my voice is just like whatever. Because, when you wanted to see somebody all day and you didn't know he was there until the end. Because I was preaching about Mike Williams. How come he's not playing? Where's he at? And then all of a sudden, Shazam. And I'm like, I jumped out of my chair. I almost went through my laptop here. I mean, it was unreal.
Unreal. I'll give you a shout out. I think you called that when I asked you in the HCU Awards on Tuesday when we do a podcast together. And guys, welcome to both Steeler Nation Australia and also Steelers Dynasty Podcast. If you're on their side, make sure you hit the like and subscribe as well. It's a dual cast. So Steelers Dynasty Podcast. If you watch it back later, look them up too. I'll bring up their logo now. It's Bubba and Shane, and Shane's around somewhere.
Shane's floating around. He had to go take his kids somewhere, but you never know about him. He's
always moving that bloke.
He picked Washington today.
What?
He picked Washington. He picked. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, Bubba, I know you're always going to pick the Steelers. You're always going to do that, but I have to be the voice of realism." I'm like, "There is no realism. It's all you don't do that. What are you doing?"
He was almost right though. He's almost right.
Apologize.
Give big respects to Washington. They're a good team. And I want to hear this. It's only the Commanders' business. The Steelers beat a good team. That means we move up in the power rankings. That means we move up in we should get some respect.
We should.
At home.
We should. And coming back from 10 points down. I had it. Yeah. I thought it was 14. I was so out of control. I'm like, oh my God, we're down 14. And they're like, no, Bubba, it's 10.
Speaking of the devil, and you sure
there he is.
Shane,
he's like Beetlejuice.
I came down and there was nothing going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, they forgot about me. And then I start doing other things and I see, there it is. There's the invite.
Yeah, I was just telling.
You never know.
I was just telling Mark how you took this Washington.
I did. I didn't have a very good feeling about today's game. I didn't think I just thought things didn't seem right. And they didn't. Things were odd today.
Very odd. Let's kind of stay there because I give a big shout out to Washington. They're a good football team. The Washington football team from 2 years ago. They played solid. They were we gave them 3 points in that fourth down. That was kind of wild, the play. But if Pierre catches that,
but as I've been preaching, why would you try to gamble that early on that it's too? What was it? Where were they on the 12-yard line or something?
Yeah.
12. Like what? Like Tomlin's now a riverboat gambler, and now he's just throwing a house away.
I'm out. This is what happened. Okay, this is what happens, and Pat McAfee's talked about on his show. I've heard other coaches talk about it. Players. They're saying, guys, this is open. This is open. That's what's coming down from the press box. That presented itself. Both those ends were wide open.
I understand that, Shane, but when the Steelers were on the 30 and it was like third down going to fourth down on the 30, 35, they could have did it that time. I'd have been okay with that.
The thing is,
not on the 8 and 12.
We can talk about it with a win because if they get that play, that's a highlight for Danny Smith for the ages.
Right. You're calling Danny Big Dick Danny Smith. Big Dick Danny Smith and a swag.
That would have been 14-0 if he catches that on the fly and runs all the way to the end zone. That would have been like a holy F play. So, and Pierre's not a receiver. That's right. And Jez says, I think they check that into the play where they get the look. You get the look, you go for it, and they're coached that way, right? So Killebrew gets the look, and Killebrew goes, he's by himself, got to go for it. They went for it, didn't get it.
Well, now here's the other thing that why I picked it against the Steelers, and this isn't like.
Well, you should never.
Well, no, listen, statistically, not very many teams in the NFL win 4 games straight. And being a road game against a hot team with Washington, I just thought the Steelers might choke this week, and they did, and that really shows that they're a fantastic team.
What's funny is that was their first loss as well for the Commanders at home. And you know what? We do the awards in 2 days' time. I might be giving Steelers fans 2 points this week because they showed up and showed out. They was the time near the end of the defense getting plays. There was that many terrible towels in the crowd. It was unbelievable. There must have been 15,000 people there.
Did you see the end zone there in the back? That upper deck there was nobody there.
Cheap seats. Yep. Well, they were giving out burgundy towels, fight for the win or something like that. They was calling it or whatever it was, and they were trying to match our energy. But the defense was fired up, and the towels were going nuts. So Steel fans definitely showed up, and I know the players love that. And the last play with that fourth down, and they could have almost got a first down, but his knee was down. Correct call, tackle, Minka, game. Right? It was insane.
Well, that was a game of inches.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, though, they're playing in Maryland, so from where I live, it's probably 3.5 or 4 hours away. So you can, it's maybe 5 by you, Shane. So 5 hours away, we could have went to the game, but sometimes
it's really not that bad because from where I'm at, see where you live, you got to go down all those back roads. I hop on 79, go down to Morgantown, and blow over. You're talking 4 hours, and it's just an easy drive.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
you're talking two big highways, and you're there.
It wasn't an easy win, but I'll take it.
I want to give a shout out to King on your channel on Steelers Dynasty podcast. Remember, it's a dual stream, so it's on Steel Nation Oz and also Dynasty as well. It's a real team. Love you guys. You've been believers on the roundtable. The roundtables, people know about the roundtable now. Bubbles in there for a few weeks, get a bit of heat about his light and his lamp.
Yeah, I'd love to come back now and be like, just jump behind you and be like, oh.
Yeah, what's up? So that's going to be a lot of fun when I go there. I'm going to give 2 quick shout outs to you guys. I'm going to go through the game, kind of like the box score, and go through the quarterback and just go through a lot of things we saw. A lot of improvement, by the way. We got away with a crazy win, but we need a lot of improvement in a lot of areas. So shout out to you guys from the Steelers Dynasty podcast. Type that into YouTube, and I'll put the link in the description, hopefully later if I remember. Otherwise, I'm going to the winners pub, but I'll put in the comments too soon. And also shout out to the AFC North round table. We have myself, Cincinnati, Chef Say. The Browns are gone. Bobby Baltimore's gone now too. Sam is filling in there, and he chooses Denver and doesn't choose his Ravens. So I'm there I'm there from 6 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, which is now my 10 a.m., which is fantastic. So I'm pretty fired up about this win, but there's definitely some things we need to improve on. Let's kind of start there. Let's start with like maybe a negative that you saw, Bubba. There's one negative we can kind of lean into. What you saw?
Well, not covering the slant passes on defense, and a big shout out to Chloe Smith's mom. That was a big key, and that was they just what a bad game and a terrible game. Joey Porter Jr.
I agree. It's pretty bad. Flags and. They were playing. I think he's maybe played too cocky in this situation. Maybe he thinks he's better than what he is.
Maybe
come back to real life and start getting back to the film room, getting back to your kind of football. I think he had a bad game, and I think bad games can happen. But there was times where he was left on. It wasn't Joe Porter Jr. Island. It was like wide open every time.
Yep.
And there was some face masks that maybe shouldn't have been called. But yeah, I agree with that negative. The secondary wasn't the best in that sense. What about you, Shane? What's a negative we can go with first?
Well, a negative is like, it used to be the middle of the field, which it still is. McQueen played good, but that middle of the field is open, and the Ravens are watching this film, and it looks like the Commanders have been watching film because they took advantage of where the Steelers are weak. And it's that linebacker core that plays the pass when they have to play the pass. They're pretty good at rushing, but they're not really good in pass coverage. The D-backs are not looking too sharp. They don't look great. Joey Porter, he's athletic. Athleticism gets you a certain point, but technique wins every time. And these receivers were playing really good, running really good routes. He had to hold them. And they're going to call that. When your hand is like that, either you're blocking for someone in the front row at a rock concert, or you're going to get a penalty in the NFL.
That's a good point. I like that. You said technique over athleticism wins, because I did
Well,
feel
there's
like
a certain
pointers
point
were
where
along with that.
athleticism, like you see in high school, these kids are great athletes. They go to college, they're still phenomenal athletes. But the difference between the NFL and you see guys that are freaks get drafted and they don't succeed because it becomes more of a mental game. You go from checkers to chess, and that's where Joey Porter, he played at Penn State. He's really good, but you line up against a good receiver, and
he had 2 pass interference calls, and he didn't adjust right. He didn't adjust right in that one pass. So that was 3 pass plays to him. To me, he was 0-3.
You know what? I got to back up what you're saying with the secondary too, because there were times where if Jaden Daniels doesn't overthrow them or the receivers don't drop the ball, we lose probably. We don't win 28-27. We lose 35-21. There were so many times where the receivers, I think it was like 3 or 4 drop balls, and where it was like a open pass play. Sutton was beat by 4 or 5 yards, and it's open. Like it was done like dinner. So I say secondary really has to improve, of course. But with shout out again to Jaden Daniels as well. I saw earlier in the week they were saying he passed the ball within 2.5 seconds.
He was quick.
He's fantastic as a rookie. If you're a Commanders fan out there and you are watching this back, you have a very promising team. Like they look fun. Eckler is like a Warren. He's a wrecking ball. Your team played pretty good on offensive line. They kept TJ Watt quiet, so that's a negative from our side too. But we stuck away with 1 point.
Yeah, but they were holding TJ, and he had a couple pass deflections. But realistically, with TJ not playing the way he did, this was Patrick Queen's game today. Patrick Queen, the best game he played as a Steeler was this game a week before the Ravens game. So he's already fired up. And Shane, now, if they want to get in the middle and they want to do something next week, I think Patrick Queen's going to show them where the door is. All
right, let's from WVU Mountaineer Mafia. I think that's
Shane.
Right? I do want to explore this because that's a pretty good comment, right? Steelers didn't win, the Commanders lost. How do we feel about that, Shane?
You said it before. I'm just kind of piggybacking on what you said. Those passes were underthrown. If those passes would have been spot on, and that's the difference between Fields and Russell Wilson. Those passes that Fields was making the first few games were underthrown, weren't quite on the mark. Russell Wilson has thrown daggers. Now, if the Commanders had a little bit more accuracy in the pass game, and the Steelers made we all saw that trick play that went shitty.
Yes, it did.
Which one? The Commanders? The Commanders one or the Steelers?
The Steelers had the trick play went shitty. That in combination with if the Commanders are playing actually a little bit better, more precise, the passing would have been a little better. You're talking a blowout. You're talking 35.
A lot of time.
Yeah, but also too, Shane. Also too, if Jalen Warren's knee was down on the 1 yard line, you know what I mean? That was
no. It was great. I mean, I'm not discounting that, but
it'd have been 30. We'd have scored 35. But sometimes that's how it happens.
That's football. That's
the way it goes.
That's right.
I mean, it's a game of inches.
And it can swing as quickly this way or that way. Like a game can pivot on one play. And the Steelers are blessed that play didn't bite them. And it did kind of hang on and nag at them for series after series. They just couldn't get the traction again. But
I think as well that's why it's not fantasy football and paper versus paper. Like these guys go out there and play, and then the missed throws and the drop catches by the Commanders was, oh my goodness, And the game of inches. That's why this game was so much fun. Well, there's a lot to improve, but this was someone said that in my live chat. Might have been James Fetchko or Finko or someone. James out there, you know who he is, or you know who you are. He said this could have been the Super Bowl. This would have been crazy.
Could have
Imagine this was a Super Bowl.
If it was, I'd be walking through my concrete wall right now if it was, because I just Minka Fitzpatrick, that receiver, that tight end had his knee down right before the first. Just that. I mean, can you imagine if Minka just was back about a half a yard, that'd have been a first down.
And thank goodness the refs got that one right. thank goodness they called that one right. There was a play on Scary Terry that he went to the end zone for the refs, and they threw the flag on JPJ. He fell down and he did a dive, did a soccer dive. He did that on purpose because it gives him the advantage. Teams always do that. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go we'll go around the different quarterback positions and running back stuff like that. I want to start with, of course, Russell Wilson. I just want to say one thing. I'll give you guys the mic in a minute. With Russell Wilson, I thought he was fantastic in terms of dime plays on Mike Williams, the Pickens, the Fry move, this and this. But he does seem a little bit inconsistent, and maybe the offense is still working their plays together. Because there were some times where receivers are off, or there was O-line was getting bent out of shape. And Russell Wilson threw a pick. But you know what? In a game sense, in a football sense, he came back and just stuck him there and won. So I give him a big shout out for winning this game on the road and the Commanders. And a win is a win. But he didn't have the best stats. Russell Wilson got 14 for 28, so 50% really. Completions, 195, 770, 3 TDs and 1. That to me is a gamer. You win the game. You win games like that. It's crazy. But it overall wasn't a stat fest of like getting 4 or 5 TDs and 100 yards. Lots to improve from my perspective, but it was fantastic to see him throw the football to Pickens and Fry move with a nice cut and Mike Williams for his TD. What are your thoughts?
But also too, the offensive line could not hold up. The Commanders' defensive line was actually very, very good, better than I thought it would be. And he was actually running, because when he threw that interception, he was actually running for his life, but he overthrew him, and you know what I mean. And there was a lot of passes when he was rolling out. He made that one play where he rolled out and he found Austin, and Austin took that hit, but he didn't have enough time to set in the pocket to throw like he wanted to, because that defensive line was getting through the offensive line. I just thought that first series, we had to punt, and then we scored on the second series, but it just seemed that there was a little bit of not enough efficiency after that. But every time in the first series, he always throws to Washington, coming out and rolling out, and that's his first pass play, him and Fields, because that has to be scripted though. Because they do that. That's the first series they do every day.
They're figuring it out. I want to make a quick point. Wes says, we win the game. You guys are talking negative. You know this is a positive Steelers channel. We can also critique the game as well. Like, we won by 1 point. Let's not get too crazy. It was a fantastic game. It was a great game. But this is 17 minutes of a podcast. Delete that comment and then write another comment in 50 minutes and see if it's exactly the same. Love you, Wes, but delete that comment and come back in 50.
I don't know, Wes, but my voice is bad because on my podcast and me and Shane's, I was screaming like no other because I am a true diehard. I'm excited. My voice is hurting. Shane can tell you. I was screaming.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to tell Wes. I'm successful in what I've done because I'm critical. So you have to be critical. And it just goes by what I've done for 25 years. If you're not critical of your craft, in some professions, people die. Now, it's the NFL, it's a game. So we're taking a little bit of a shit on them because they get paid a lot of money. And it was an exciting game. I'd rather watch a game like that and have the Steelers win than have the Steelers blow them out. But at the end of the day,
I like both.
We're gonna just.
We started with a negative. We started with a negative first because I just wanted to get one. There's a lot to improve. This game was so
fantastic.
Much fun. It was fantastic. I can't put how much fun it was.
Here's the other thing. I'm not negative about Danny Smith's call. I support that call. But the thing is, the results of that, you got to live with it. And the hangover lasted for a couple quarters.
It did. So. And 2 of the fumble from Ben Skowronek picked it up. You know what I mean? He picked up the fumble, and it was like then we were in front by 7. So,
we still love you. We're just taking a shit on you too.
100%. Like I always say, this is an environment. We're at a bar with cheers and beers, having a good time. Then we go home and we just go.
Hey, the receivers were catching balls. Russell was throwing some balls. He just didn't have enough time to set. If he had a little bit more time, he would have had 260, and maybe 300 because there was people open. He was just running around for his life. And barely, he had to take some sacks when he did, which is not good. I don't like him getting sacked anyway. But also, too, if they had some screens with Jalen Warren a little bit more, because Jalen had a good game today, one of his best games of the year. And, I was a little scared for Najee with that ankle. And I'm pissed off that Highsmith, I don't like Highsmith getting hurt. No. And I hope it's something truly minor to go in, in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully he's not out long.
I'm going to slam way out of the pocket, Burnsy.
Yeah, Burnsy.
There's one good thing here. You Steelers after a bye. This is normally a Tomlin trap game. No, it's not, Burnsy. After the bye week, the Steelers are now 13-4 after a bye week. If that's a trap game, then that's unbelievable. Burnsy.
Get him.
Brian.
I love you, Brian. He was busting my chops the whole game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is the inconsistency of like the information out there. There's no trap game of Tomlin in bye weeks. He is now 13-4 after a bye week.
Well,
trap games don't exist in the NFL.
A trap game would be a team that's actually way bad, like a 3-6 team, and we go in and we lose that game. So that to me would be a trap game. Washington was 7-2.
That's what I love about these comments and why I'm so supportive of Mike Tomlin. And here are the positive comments. Mike Tomlin gets so much shit about everything about what he does. And this comment tells you that you don't know exactly what the bye record is. The bye record is 13-4. How is that a trap game?
It's not. This was not a trap game, Burns.
There's no stats that tell this is a trap game because Mike Tomlin is very prepared after a bye week. He's 13 wins and 4 losses. There is 0 trap game.
Yeah.
That's false information. That makes no sense to make that. But you make that comment anyway because you don't like Mike Tomlin. So therefore, Burns, you're wrong.
Hey,
no. Come back a bit. No, whatever. I'm
get him.
Here. Come back a minute, Burns. Come back. Someone never had a trap game. No, I'm not talking about a trap game in general. I'm talking about this. One good thing this year, Steelers won after a bye week. That this is normally a Tomlin trap game. Therefore, linking the bye week to normally a Tomlin trap game. Normally, however, it's not normal because it's 13-4 wins after a bye week is not normally a thing that Tomlin does.
Burns, not a trap game. It's not a trap game, Burns. It's not a trap game because we have a winning record on a bye week, 13-4. How's that a trap, Burns? It's a trap game if we lost to like the Arizona Cardinals last year when we were supposed to win, and to the Patriots. Now that's a trap game, Burns. Today was not a trap game.
All right, I think we might need a ray gun reset for a minute. We're getting a bit too fired up.
She retired.
No, not on my channel. Ray gun reset.
Nah, Steelers out west. Yeah, we're enjoying it. But we're just saying it was close, and it was closer than it should have been because the Steelers are a good team.
Cam Hayward, that defensive line today has stepped up. Awesome, and they must have saw my video.
Right, ray gun reset. We're going to come back. That's it.
That must be genetic. That must be an Australian thing.
That's awesome.
Everybody in Australia does that. No, okay. Look, this is a podcast that will probably go for an hour. We're just pointing out that this game was awesome. It was fantastic. It was fun. But there are things to be improved on. Shannon, what about your thoughts on the quarterback situation, or quarterback with Wilson? I thought he played good, but there were times where he wasn't so good. He passed the ball 50%, but he played fantastic when moments counted.
No, I think the big plays made up for everything else. That one pass, I thought he was just throwing it up there. I thought it was like one of those deals where they throw it right out of bounds, just to kind of get rid of it, and all's good within the vicinity of the receiver, so it's not on a penalty. I did not expect the receiver to run to the ball and catch it, which is exactly what you're supposed to. But the way it was up there, what a gun!
Was that his first play as a Steeler?
It wasn't his first play. I think he was in there before doing some blocking.
No, that was his first big pass. But
that was the only pass that got thrown to him because I didn't know that he was in the whole game because I was too busy like going crazy. So
he was in there. He was in there blocking on some situations and here and there in the offense. But if you probably go to the ESPN stats, he probably had a few snaps here and there. But that was awesome. His first target, his first like real chance to go to the end zone.
Touchdown.
Pickens' adjustment, like he turned his body the other way and made that catch. Like he literally was jumping, like his body was in the air, and then he turned his body. He's like, "Oh shit, I got to go this way."
He was like the Matrix when they fall back, and he just caught the ball.
It was Neo doing some shit.
George is correct here. Najee ran into another play, so it wasn't his first. Don says it wasn't his first play, and don't worry, I won't go for a rant like I did against Burns. Because I'm not
it's okay. We're gonna be drinking Burns' money, man, the 21st, so we're good.
He's getting nervous now.
I know he is.
Should have made it 1,000. Should have made it 1,000, I reckon. No, Najee ran into a certain situation. He ran into the back of Mike Williams, but it was his first target, first reception, first game-winning TD. Awesome. Unbelievable play. It was like, oh my goodness, he was down.
He's glad he's out of New York now. I guarantee it. He's glad he's a Steeler now. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Why would you want to play under Aaron Rodgers anyway? So yeah, but shout out to Russell Wilson. He got 3 TDs, 1 interception. I'm overall thinking it was great. He played unbelievable in those throws. I just think the offense needs to fine tune a few things and they can get things working. But they scored, 4 TDs offense. Running game. What about the running game, Bubba, with Najee Harris and Warren? What are your thoughts there?
I thought it was okay. I mean, Najee was not averaging. He was in the first half. He was still running pretty good, but then when he got hurt, I think they took him out a little bit. But Jalen Warren came on, and Cordell Patterson is in there. So our running is still good. I'm happy with the running attack. I'm okay with that. I'm good. I'm good with the running game. But the only thing that I wish they would take Najee between the tackles is all, and let Jalen go out and do the sweeps. Other than that, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Those sweeps are a bit something. They're a bit. Najee can be sometimes like 2 out of 10 times it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. It's not blocked properly. Najee's more north and south. I think he played pretty good football. Yet again, physical, running hard, getting hit. Warren as well. Yeah, I think that Warren played so well into that fumble. And then, they'll work on that sweep play, but it does seem to be part of the offense. Maybe it's setting things up in terms of play action or whatever. It seems to be a lot, it seems to be really part of the offense having that sweep. Shana, what about the running game for you?
I'm not being negative because I'm going to tell you that was not a Warren fault. That was more a great defensive play as far as the fumble. You'll have that. He's fallen to the ground. The ball, the ball was hit right where they call it the peanut drill, where he hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was hit. It was coming out. So I think they did a fantastic job. I'm not going to shit on the running backs at all.
No.
They've been really serviceable and really good the whole year. I think they're banged up. Now, Washington's supposed to not have a great run defense, and I thought that the Steelers would capitalize a little bit more on the running game. But, they got the first downs when they needed to, and, as Tomlin say, they were what they expected them to be, right?
They are who they thought they were. Yeah. We let them off the hook.
And Tomlin being a riverboat gambler going on 4th and 1. I'm telling you, he's a riverboat gambler this year. He's putting all the cards out.
One was wild, wasn't it?
Yes.
Do you guys think the 4th and 1 they would have run a play there, the very last play?
They had to.
Do you think they were going to though, or were they just trying to get him offside?
They were probably if they got him offsides, great. But they're going to have to run a play.
They probably told the quarterback, it's Russell, to say, hey, listen, if you like what you see, run a play. If you don't, that type of thing.
I don't know if they were, like an option play, same play as the punt, right? Because in football, there's all different kinds of ways you can go things, yeah? That guy, though, he must feel awful. They don't know who the Washington commander was. He jumped offside, and that's over.
It's done.
Sealed it.
That's what happens in football.
That's right.
Here's a good question from, is it
Dre?
Or Andre? Dre. It's my imagination. Do we not use the middle of the field? No, because Bubba talked about in your video with Pratt Frymouth once, twice, two receptions, 3. Good TD to Frymouth though, but not using the middle of the field.
No, he only had 3 today. He only had 3 receptions. Like he's out 29 receptions in 9 games. That's not good, is what we're paying him. And that's what I said on my video. And somebody told me, "Hey, look, Bubba, this and that." I'm like, "Look, I just want to see 4 to 7. You can use Frymouth 4 to 7."
Well, boys, I'm gonna pop off. My kid got to go kill some deer tomorrow, so.
All right.
Okay. See you, Shane.
Later, boys.
Mate. Fantastic. G'day, just me. What's going on? She says, "Hey, folks."
Well, I'm gonna
do. I know we should use it for a short. I'm gonna give a big shout out though to Pepper just quickly at this halftime break. I had a really good comment on my last live, just the live we did today, from Blue Nose, and it makes a really good point. So Blue Nose gives a big shout out to Pepper. She said, "I missed a lot of the feed today as my wife was watching the Chiefs, and I joined me for the Steelers finish. This is the best site it's talking about Steel Nation Oz. And you, Pepper, are just as important as Mark in how this site works with beers." So big dead set. Pepper, you are the commander in chief in the chat. No pun intended for the command. You do a great job in the chat. So it was really nice for someone to give a shout out to.
Yeah.
In terms of the modding and
then she jumps on ours sometimes and goes back to yours. So I mean, just to do whatever you're doing, Pepper, it's great.
She's got 6 screens. She's got like games everywhere, mate. She's like
she's like the Oracle. She's like the Oracle from DC Comics, where there's many motion video screens.
There's people everywhere. No, I appreciate you. I really do appreciate it. And then also when people in the chat give you shout outs, so I thought I wanted to bring it up. So yeah, let's move in then to some of the receivers talk, man. I don't know who else to go past than Pickens and Mike Williams. Unbelievable.
I'm ecstatic like Christmas before Christmas. Like we now got a number 2 receiver, and just wait till he start learning the plays. One play.
Yeah,
one play.
He did the exact same thing you said to me 4 days ago. I said, what about are they going to feed in Williams? No, they won't need to. And I was like, why? It was because he's just going to go down the field. I might use that. I might use that for my reaction. I'm going to go back and find that and then click my reaction to it, because all you said was just let him go straight. And he did that. He went a bit of stutter step, took off the corner. Corner was behind. He went straight. Moon ball by Russell Wilson. We can't see the end of the play. So we're like, oh, where's he going to go? And we went, oh my goodness, he caught.
Boom. And I was like, where? I didn't even know it was him. Seriously, I was like, I didn't know it was him. I had no idea it was Williams, because I was saying, Williams, where's Williams at? Why aren't they using Williams? Why aren't they using the streaks just to take the pressure off of George? Why? Where's he at? And then all of a sudden, boom! I almost flipped my table over.
I might clip yours too. I'm going to make that a reaction of my reaction. I'm going to have you at the start. Saying, he'll be fine, just going to go straight, and then going to have your reaction too. So I'm going to work, when we finish the podcast, I'm going to work for the next hour and put that out. I won't be doing a post-game video, just as post-game live. Because look, this team, I said it a million times. I love this team. I love this team so much. I love the way that Warren plays, the way that Highsmith plays, the way that Minka is getting tackles. I love this team so much in the way how they're doing things.
You are the most positive Steeler fan I've ever met in my entire life. So I don't know where people are smoking whatever. You're very positive. I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard. Like if they lose, I feel crappy all day, all week long. That's how I am. I know how good we are, and I know what we need to do.
They're a good time.
This is the best. This is the best team this been since the AFC Championship game in New England. This team is that good. I believe so.
Maybe it could be, in certain parts, could be even better, because our secondary was also really bad. If our secondary picks it up in the next few games, we've got the Ravens, but we've got four FC North games too.
And TJ Watt only just deflected a couple balls, and he didn't get a sack, but he got some pressure. He didn't even make a tackle today, I don't think.
No, they're doing so much work on him. They're putting tight ends.
They're chipping him. They were showing how they chipped him and stuff. Yeah, but they're holding him every play. They're holding Highsmith. I mean, it's terrible, and they don't call it, but it is how it is.
It must be very frustrating as a player to know that you get zoned out of a game like that. You're that important of a player for TJ Watt to be on the Steelers defense, that you get almost written out of the game because the offense zones you out.
Well,
must be crazy feeling.
That or they had to play and put everybody they had against TJ, and that's where Patrick Queen had such a great game today.
Yeah, he did.
And even Cam Hayward, Cam had 2 sacks.
Oh, Cam! I forgot about Cam.
There we go. So you put all your marbles against TJ Watt. Every other Steeler defenser is gonna scorch you, and that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Queen, Cam,
Cam just showed he was a true professional for this team, and I think this team, their defense, they did in certain times did step up, and they are playing for him to run. This is a Super Bowl run right now.
Yep.
I said it 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're now into a good team. I don't know if we're great just yet. We're getting there, but they're a good side. Russell Wilson is 3-0. He's throwing really great passes, getting the offense moving, and scoring 28 points. 2 years ago, Matt Canada didn't work. This team can be a good side, and they are a good side, and they just beat a good side. So I don't want to hear any Steel fan win just say, "Oh, we didn't." They're only the Commanders, which we'll hear on the AFC North round tree.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Only the Commanders,
But honestly, the Redskins or I call them the Redskins. The Washington Commanders is the first team to score 10 points in the third quarter. Nobody scored against us in the third quarter until today.
Correct.
But also too, if we wouldn't have tried the fake thing on 4th down, you gave Washington close to the end zone. So realistically, it would have been, you're looking at 20 points. Maybe 17 average, of an average for them to score. Like next week, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who's playing, who's behind center against Baltimore. It doesn't matter to me. It's a divisional game. Pittsburgh's going to suit up. tighten their chin straps, and they're going to knock the living shit out of the Ravens next week. I'm calling it right now because that's just how I feel.
I think the Colts scored 27 on us. This is the highest point
maybe
against the Steelers. 28.
Okay.
There we go. The highest point scored against is 28. That's now 4 in a row. So the team is starting to chip away, and now we're going to face this gauntlet that is the Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, but they're going to play us too, and we know this team. The Steelers know their own division.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be something where, okay, if this wasn't the one where we get some credit for it, the Steelers can beat the Commanders being a 7-3 team. Now we're 7-2, and there's zero credit coming our way in terms of the NFL, like they're putting teams on notice. Then definitely next week when you beat the Ravens, that's when you start to show their colors.
Yeah.
Right? But I think overall, it's a really great win.
Oh my God, it's huge. It's huge because what didn't you say this is the gauntlet? So we're already in the first step in the gauntlet, taking roses. Yeah. So we're good. We're going through, taking one game at a time. Now this, we can talk about, this and that about this game, but now it's I hate the Ravens week. It just starts right now.
Yeah, I think I know you hate the Ravens now, and
I've always hated them. I hate them. I just don't.
You hate the Ravens like I hate the Bengals.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't stand the Ravens. I hate the Ravens.
I'm gonna cherish this win for a bit, and then tomorrow the next game is getting ready for the Ravens.
Tonight you just watch all the highlights, and you're like, as I go maybe upstairs and go eat something, because I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so. Because it's not a stress eat; it's a celebratory eating. It's like, yes,
I'm going to Winners Pub, mate. I'm just I'm going to make this video. I'm going to go Winners Pub.
Well,
I think this is one where still you face adversity in this game where
we did, and we showed the world because our backs were against the wall, and Russell Wilson showed and commanded an offense, and he is what he is because he's a future Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl quarterback. And that's how you win with leadership like that. We couldn't there's no way in heck we could have done this last year. There is no way with any quarterback we had last year. I don't care who we had. This year, it is totally different.
That's a good title. I should use that in one of my videos. Russell Wilson commands the Steelers to a victory over Washington.
Ooh.
Because, wait, what do I need to say it again? No, I can just get it later. It's all right. I already said it once.
You said it.
Get that.
Well,
it's online now. Now someone's going to steal that. You watch Jack Sparrow of the Commanders going to steal that.
I seen his jersey was backwards or something. What a douche. He
wears it because people they spend $500. They wear the name on the front. I'd never wear a jersey backwards in my life.
Well, look, your podcast is mine is not as mine's slowly churning, and you're getting the realism. You're getting these two podcasts are real. We're real Steeler fans. Like I was on the verge of flipping tables over if we didn't get that touchdown. Like it's just I don't understand it. It just I don't know. That guy's a smoke.
If you want to check out Bubba's podcast with Shane, and the link is in the chat there. Steelers Dynasty podcast, hit that. But yeah, let's keep talking about some of the football players and players and stuff like that. What about the offensive line? We're going to finish there before we go to the defense. Offensive line, bit scratchy, here and there.
Little scratchy, but they still had, their run blocking was great.
Fantastic.
Run blocking was great. Just a little bit more on the pass blocking, of course. Broderick Jones, of course, probably could have got a little hold. I seen him but they didn't call it. But Russell Wilson was hurrying his throws, and that was the only thing. And he did what he had to do. So they could have get a little bit more of their pass blocking a little bit better. I
give a big shout out to Mason McCormick. Made a really key block for a fourth down for Jalen Warren when we had to go for the 4th and 1. He pulled around from the guard position and made a key opening and knocked their socks off. I'm sure there's many more like that where McCormick I like the big shoulder pads and neck roll. It reminds me of like the TV movies and stuff like that, all those crazy times. But he had made a key block to get a 4th down and 1, and that was a really great run for him. Offensive line, definitely still working on here and there, just a
little bit of the pass blocking. That's all. Because Russell's looking for everybody. He didn't have the quick release like Jalen Daniels did, so he's just looking. But I mean, that one rollout when he rolled out and he threw that to Austin, that was pretty good. So people can say whatever about his feet, because those defensive linemen were coming, and he did a little shuffle move, and
it was also shout out to the Commanders also playing really, really good football on the defensive line, putting a lot of pressure on Russ, and then he was smart enough to take the sack and not forcing the throw and being too silly. But in terms of running the rock, there was times where the offensive line were pushing their fellas in the two big, the huddle of D-line and O-line together, smash, and they're pushing them over the line and all those kind of things. So I think they played pretty good football to get the win and get out of this Mike Tomlin's hostile environment.
This is a huge win. This is a huge win.
Huge win. Yeah. Here's one from Brian Burns. Says, speaking of offensive line, do you sign Dan Moore? I would say yes. Because no matter if he starts or doesn't start, depending where he goes.
And I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I just said that because
he's now the most consistent one.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. I know a couple years ago, and I always go back to Ben's last game. He had a great game against Myles Garrett. And now I am a Dan Moore supporter because he has been the staple. He's played every game this year, Burns. So you got to sign him. You got to sign him, and he's the leader on this team, on this line.
Yeah, he's the silent leader too, and so is Ciamalo. And maybe it's the Steel fans out there to be patient with Jones, to be patient with Troy Fautanu. Go back to 2004-05 when phones didn't really exist and was no social media. Go back to those times when we talked about before. You didn't even know who was on the roster sometimes. I didn't when I was younger. You just be patient because Dan Moore got a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
And I gave him some too. And I showed myself accountable. I did. The best game was against Ben's last game, but this year he is actually playing like a Pro Bowl. He's playing like a Pro Bowl tackle right now.
Yeah,
and they got to pay him.
His pass pros up there. He's run pros up there. He's next to Darnell's next to him. Darnell made a good few key blocks. This team is playing. If you were to say, were to grade them with offensive line grade, I'd say like a B or maybe a B plus, something like that. They're doing good enough to get things moving, and they're scoring 28 points. So, big shout out to Brian Burns for the comment there on Dan Moore. I think he's
don't give him too many shout outs. You know how he gets.
I had to be even now because
give him a shout out for that $100, man, because we're gonna drink on it. I'm telling you.
I was yelling too much before. Pepper says showing love both today in on Steelers Dynasty podcast and also Steel Nation Oz.
Thank you, Pepper.
Defense. Right. I want to talk because we talked about Cam at the very start, right? Or the middle of the podcast. Let's bring it back. Let's give a fucking shout out to Cameron Hayward. All right?
Huge game.
Unbelievable game from Cameron Hayward in terms of locking down some of the runs and locking down the quarterback 2 times a day, 2 sacks, and put a paw up too.
Yep.
What more do you want from Cameron Hayward?
That's all you can. That's a Pro Bowler right there. That's a Hall of Famer right there. Hall of Famer right there. You can't ask for anything more.
He played, to me, I think that was one of his best games in a recent time, but you keep saying that every 3 or 4 games. So Cameron Hayward had 2 total tackles. 2 tackles, they must be different then. 2 tackles, 2 solo, and 2 sacks. Sacks must be different than tackles. And 2 tackles for a loss. So he hit oh my goodness. Out of the 4 tackles he made, was always behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And that's based on his zone where he
was bull rushing over the guard and over he was there. And they had a lot of loss of yard tackles too. I'm telling you, Patrick Queen had a great game today. Super game.
Yeah, he also had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. So tackles for a loss, they had 8 and they had 3 sacks. That's 11 times going backwards, right?
Burns, Cam Hayward will be in the Hall of Fame. He has. I know he hasn't won a playoff game, but his regular season he has 70-some sacks or something like that. Burns, he will be in the Hall of Fame.
You know what also helps him? He's a good guy off the field too.
Yes.
Off-field resume will help his stats to get in because he does all the charitable work. He's been a Walton Payton Man of the Year.
And he's with one team. And he's with the Steelers his whole career.
Team.
That means a lot.
I think he's in. He plays. The more you talk about it, the more you talk him in because he's also played the most defensive games as a Steeler as well. I think in the regular season, there's guys that maybe a bit in the postseason, but I think he's there. So he's showing himself in, going on this run to winning games and getting sacks. If he's playing 2 more years, he's on 86 sacks or 86, I think. Can he get 14 to make it 100?
That's Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
This is Hall of Fame numbers from a defensive tackle, Burns. That's Hall of Fame numbers right there.
Yeah, for us, to get, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, so the more you think about it, the more you talk about it, he's definitely up there in that sense.
Yeah. I'm not even, there's no hesitation in my eyes. and my beliefs that he probably will go once he has an opportunity. He retires 5 years. Boom, he's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Big shout out to Roberta. Roberta always comments on my videos. So one big shout out to you, Roberta. Thank you very much. He says, love Cam. Queen had a great game. I believe Cam is a future Hall of Famer, but I never trust the voters. That's very true because Greenwood was a 4-time Super Bowl champion, a huge part of Steel Curtain.
He still can't get in.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. He should be in. He should be in.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. More on the defense. What else kind of stood out to you on the defense? Any other, like I know you talked about Queen besides Queen because we gave Queen
besides Queen, I mean that play, Fitzpatrick made the plays when he had to make the plays on that to stop them. But like I said, they didn't have any big plays beat them in the secondary. They just the Washington Commanders were just chipping away on the slants. That's all, and just them 2 pass interference by Joey Porter, and then being out in a missed position for that 1 catch. So Porter to me would be graded at a C. And then, until Highsmith got hurt. Yeah, that wasn't good. I don't think that was good right now. So, and Highsmith was still churning and getting in and causing disruption in the Commanders when he was doing it.
You want to hear something really, really, really interesting and how the Commanders were working this defense around? TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith combined got 0 tackles. None. That means they were just pushing them out and blocking them correctly. And Highsmith had a lot of pressures.
Well, that's why Queen had such a good game because nobody was on Queen, so he could roam free and make some plays.
And also Daniels was firing the ball that fast, that quick, that these 2 fellas on the outside normally can't get there when they got, they got Watson or they got Lamar Jackson sitting back there like a duck, you know what I mean? Or they got other players like that. They can't do it. So in that sense, the guys on the outside could not get there at all.
Now let me ask you something about the outside linebackers. Do you think one of those backers was actually spying on Daniels so he wouldn't run over because he almost had 500 yards rushing because he didn't kill us with his feet?
That's very true. Let's go there too because Daniels only rushed today, I think, for 5 yards.
There you go. That's huge right there. So that's a Steeler defensive win right there because he's close to 500 yards rushing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's maybe they weren't allowing him, so maybe Queen we almost have to go back and watch it again because we missed so many things. So maybe
it's a good game. It's a good game to watch now. You want to watch it again, Yeah.
No, that's it. Maybe Daniels was held up, and their real game attack. Their plan to me was that quick fire pass to the slant and getting guys open real quick and fast and getting down the field. And Daniels doing a great job of that.
Okay, Burns. That could you might be right, Burns. You might be right. That could have been his job. You could be right, Burns.
So, but it was also Quinn was freed up. Cameron Hayward. I think Keanu Benton had a good game too up front. Ogunjobi was in there for a sack or I think a tackle for a loss too. So, it was a good overall game because they didn't allow him to kill us with his feet.
So this defensive game today, without the outside linebackers, everybody else stepped up. Because usually it's a Highsmith or TJ Watt.
Yeah, correct.
And Watt with a strip sack or something like that, which we didn't get that
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
against Jeff Hoover, the Giants.
Yeah,
they had 4 sacks,
So I mean, it just makes the defense of the Steelers more solidified in my eyes. If Joey Porter can work on his technique and not try to get pass interference, look, our secondary will get a little better. Cam Sutton was in there. I think Jackson was hurt, I believe, with a hamstring, I believe. So,
he was in there a little bit here and there. I think Dante Jackson, I didn't know when he went out, but I saw him play. I did see James Pierre make some mistakes, but also James Pierre made a really big tackle too when I was going to, I think it was Noah Brown to the outside, came back, lit him up, There are times like that where football plays were being played out like a real football game, and it was fun to watch. There are times when you saw that pass to Scary Terry, we got burnt and ran down the field.
Yep,
that happens, right?
Well, I'm glad we can at least Porter caught him, or it would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a 58-yard pass in that sense. But Minka, you know what? Let's go to. We're going to start to wrap it up very shortly. But with Minka, that play was inches away from a first down, right? Without that play in Kazi and holding him up and having the thought process to go, okay, we got him here, put him and then knee down and 4th down. Like, that was crazy.
That play made them still number 1 in the AFC North right there. That was the play that made them That's that play. And he knew because he had that tight end had his knee down. So I knew when I was watching it, when we were doing our live, I'm like, he's down. There's no way that's a first down. He's already down because he already had his knee down when he got the ball. So.
Here's a comment from David, who's a Patriot fan. I don't know if they won today or not. But David's one of the best games of the season. It really was.
I think they did. I think they played Chicago and they beat Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's going backwards, backwards. They were winning 4 or 5 games in a row. Now they're like stalling and like playing awful.
Yeah.
100%. We don't like Chiefs.
Well, God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
But the funny thing was,
we're taking them Christmas Day.
We hated the Steelers, hated the Patriots during Tom Brady. Now everyone hates the Chiefs because they're in the way, right? So,
but you know what? There's no evil empire and there's no Darth Vader working there. So I'm okay now. Like I don't hate the Patriots like I used to. Like I used to. Tom Brady, I couldn't stand Tom Brady, but and I hated him, because I've been to 2 AFC Championship losses and it just hurts my soul. Live. I've been there live. It's terrible. I'm 53 years old, and 2001, 2003, whatever, when Cordell, when Troy Brown blocked the punt, it was not good for me. It's not good. So I'm good with them. It's all Ravens now. I hate the Ravens.
Got a comment here from Gene, says Ben Skronik needs some credit too on teams. He definitely does. We're talking defense, but he played on his first showing teams. He played very well. He got that kickoff for the fumble, the muff punt, and he got the fumble. Yep. You scan to the sidelines and you see his intensity, and this is why this team is so well coached. And a lot of people don't like Mike Tomlin, but they were so well coached, being a 7-2 team, 2-2 team, and they're really playing competitive football. And I think everyone's checking in, everyone's fired up and getting ready to play this game. Like the guy Ben Skronik is a receiver from the Rams who was like a 3rd or 4th guy on the depth chart. I think he won a Super Bowl with the Rams too back in the day when they beat the Bengals.
But also too, I watched your video this morning about Russell Wilson on my way to work, like I always do, and you made that display of Russell Wilson taking all the offensive players,
fucking believable,
all of them, like
all
starters, like practice squad people. You said. And they're not going to McDonald's to get a hamburger. You know what I mean? Like
that's the difference, man.
That's the camaraderie that the Steelers never had before, because it was probably like the quarterback's taking a lineman out. He's taking everybody out to eat. Everybody.
That to me, it shows you more than football. It shows you that's why the Mike Williams TD works. That's why the pick and stuff works. That's why the Frymouth works. Now I do feel bad for the defense because they're not going.
They might go to McDonald's or Wendy's. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe I figured maybe TJ takes them out into his house for a barbecue or something. I don't know. He's got $100 million bucks.
It's really awesome that Russell Wilson pays for everybody on the offense. Yeah. Everyone, offensive line, all 25 starters or whatever.
There's the defense looking in the window defense is looking in the window at the restaurant. It's like, oh my God, I wish I could get a morsel. Please give me a morsel, sir.
Chris Boswell. Christian 46 and Cause Waitman are like, where's our love? Where's our dinner?
Man, give us his table scraps or something. But I thought that was pretty cool. And if you guys didn't see that video, you need to go back and watch Mark when he gives it all the whole logistics of that, because I didn't know anything about that. And I'm like going to Sheets, eating my lovely Sheets food this morning on my way to work, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm like, holy, and I'm adding that in my head, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of money every Thursday night. Jesus.
Thursday night. In a comment, there was it was either Warren or Hayward's in a comment that they said it was almost a used car, so like $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 like of food, right?
Wow.
And you're eating good steak, you're eating good food, good protein, you're talking football, you're like, oh my goodness, the other day, man, I did this, and how's your kids? How's this? Right. That's what you need, right? And we don't know. There could be like defensive guys there or team guys there too, but at least it's something. That's something that Ross Wilson does, and that's why he's been so. That's why Denver.
Comeback player of the year. This is the comeback player of the year right here. Comeback player of the year.
Denver.
I got to win something this year. I got to win. If it ain't money, it's got to be some kind of award that I'm
thinking, you know what, to be honest, he could almost be MVP. He's now thrown, if you play this way the next 9 games, put the stats aside. If he goes and get 3 TDs or 2 TDs a game, and we win all the games, that's MVP material.
Well, if we're in the Super Bowl, he's my MVP. That's what I bet on FanDuel. Steelers win the Super Bowl. Wilson's the MVP.
It can be in that sense where Wilson, if I go to his stats, right? So today was 195, 3 TDs. And I know I said before that he was a 50-50 passer, but overall, the NFL loves the stats. And if
he's got that touch
this year,
he's got that little touch.
That's now 6 TDs, 1 interception. And
that one interception was overthrown, and he was getting chased out of the pocket, and he overthrown. Yeah. It was overthrown. So
that's the most valuable. I know they're going to go Lamar Jackson because he's got all the stats.
Yeah,
but you're the most valuable players of the team. It could be Russell Wilson because he's now changed the dynamic of scoring more points, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think you know what, and what he does for the team and buying them all the food, they should be voting him in as well.
Yeah, I'd vote for him now. Right now, he's 3-0 as a Steeler. You know, never ever.
They love him.
Yeah, I mean, we all love him now. There's no controversy in quarterbacking.
None.
There's nothing. Nothing.
We love Fields. We like him.
I'm okay with everybody. Yeah. I even like Allen. As you know, he had you know what I mean? Like I was great for him. You know, he's getting a meal too. You know, he's there.
He's getting a meal on a show. He's got the best ticket in town. He's a third quarterback. He just sits there, doesn't need to play unless he has to. Knock on wood.
And didn't you say that he never had that in Buffalo? They never did that. They just take.
No, he never had in Buffalo. No.
Josh would take the lineman out and nobody else, or it would just be the quarterbacks going out and get something to eat.
Russell Wilson is taking out every single offensive player on the team. That includes all the guys on the practice squad. That includes names we don't even know. That is where's one guy that we kind of don't know? Or Quez Watkins. He was from Philadelphia. Lance. Do you know a guy called Lance McCutcheon?
The only McCutcheon I know is McCutcheon from the Pirates.
Lance McCutcheon is Steelers receiver on the practice squad. He's getting a free meal as well. So Russell Wilson is doing fantastic work on there in that sense. John LeGlue's the offensive guard. He's played a few times.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the glue. Yeah, he's getting steak.
Rookie undrafted Doug Nestor. Never heard of him. He's getting a hit. He's going to go there too. Tight end Matt Sokol from the Vikings. Look, Wilson's doing great things in the community, in the fan base. It's now his team. We love Fields, but man, that was exciting from Russell Wilson today.
This game was something. It just pumps you up all week long. All the shows you do, you go into the round tree and you just go in guns. Can I say guns? Guns a-blazing, and they have nothing because we won, and they're like, oh, you didn't play nobody. You did.
Let's go back to that. There's one more comment before, and you guys want to put some questions in the chat before we get out of here. We'll do about 5-10 minute questions before we get out of here, make it a good show. But there was one comment from Daredevil. I'm trying to scroll back and find. Talking about we haven't played anyone yet. If I can't find it,
I seen him write that down. Yeah. And you say it all the time, and then you get people saying it, but we have played people yet.
Anyway, I can't find it.
Denver almost upset the Kansas City Chiefs today.
Block field goal.
I mean, come on, people. We have played people. We have the Falcons are one of the hottest teams in the NFC. Yeah. We have played people. They just don't want to say it because you know why? Because we are the Pittsburgh Steelers and we're the fans of the Steelers. They don't want to say that because a lot of people do not, you know what? They don't like the Steelers because we've been kicking everybody's asses for 50 years, and that's just how it is.
I'll go back to so yeah, Ben Skronik did win a Super Bowl versus the Bengals, so I like him even more now. He got 2 catches, 12 yards for 6 average and 7 longest in 5 targets. So Ben Skronik was probably maybe playing gunner on their team and playing like receiver 3 or 4. So he's got a Super Bowl ring. Same with Atlanta Roberts too. He's got a Super Bowl ring as well, winning the Patriots. So there are guys like that know how to play this kind of football,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dead set. But no, going back to that too. If people talk about this, if they say that was only the Commanders, I'm going to lose my absolute shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now, because Washington is not a slouchy team. I mean, a win is a win. Oh, Burns, what are you? He must be.
He's positive. What's going on?
I don't know. What is he doing? Well,
he's right.
No, he is. No, he is. Well, they're all professionals. I mean, you got to take a win when you can get it.
Yeah, dead set. But if I hear that, that's going to be chaos because.
Well, you'll hear it in that chat. Probably
the Commanders are a great team with a rookie quarterback who's going to win probably Rookie Player of the Year.
Yeah,
and they win the division. And we went to their house, won by 1 point. If I hear, we only won by 1 point, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh, my God. We win. I don't know what people were like. Oh, my God. A win is a win. Like, who cares?
If that was a Super Bowl, that would have been
They were favored by 3, so if you took Pittsburgh, you won. So if you took the bookies, you're a winner. Chicken dinner. I mean, I can't ever win. I can't ever win anything. I try.
No, I did some parlays.
I did parlays. I couldn't get nothing. But I because I had a Steeler parlay and I had Jalen Daniels score a touchdown, and I'm like, no, he can't score because if he scores, we lose. I'm out $600. So and Russell Wilson didn't do it. So you know what? Scratch null and void. I just want to win, and that's what I told him.
Even Russell Wilson made the first down too today. He went for a run for a first down. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was some good movement there. Do you have anything more you want to add, Bubba? I'm going to start to end the show. Any more?
No, you. Damn, I've been talking for 5 hours. I don't know. You've been the same, so I don't know. I mean, and I'm good. I'm just I got to go in and find. Shane wants me to edit how many times I said beeping out the F-bomb when Mike Williams scored a touchdown.
I was going to use your clip. Maybe I can't now.
Why? You can use anything you want to.
No, if you swear.
No,
I might mute you.
Yeah, you just beep it out. Beep.
All right.
No, you can use, brother. You can use any clip of mine you want.
I'm gonna make it in a few moments. About half an hour time, we'll be ready. I'm gonna put, you saying, "Oh, just roll it deep," and then my reaction and your reaction. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I think that was okay. Still a moment for the season, or for we look back at a couple of years' time. That was like, holy goodness! I hope we win because that pass was so freaking believable.
I didn't even know it was him. I didn't even know it was Mike Williams. I didn't even know because I was complaining all day. I'm like, where is he at? All he has to do is run a streak. That's all you got to do is just throw a streak.
You said that a million times on the other show though last week. You said,
yeah, and then he does it, and I didn't even know it was him.
Yeah, you're like, you don't need to have the playbook for him. Just run straight, and that's what he exactly did. That's what was so funny. All he did was run straight, and that got him into, into the end zone and
got him into my heart. Now he's my number one receiver.
Yeah, well, it's great because when he caught it, it was just like
right there
in the bucket, in the bread basket. Just like, oh, there it is. Bang.
One game already in 9 games. He left the Jets. He scored a touchdown. He actually made a difference. And that must make him feel really, really good.
Dude.
That probably gave him the game, one of the game balls he probably got. And now he's a Steeler.
It was good to see also number 18 looking like that as well. 18 with Deontay Johnson was.
Sure.
I like him, but it was good to see and 18 looks bigger now too. 18 is a big bloke. He's a 6'5" wide receiver.
What?
Burns said,
man, that's even. That's wow. It was God.
I wonder why he was there. Maybe Ben Jefferson was out or something like that. Maybe it was a bit of injury.
Maybe somebody was taken had to need a rest or something. Yeah. Well, wherever he was there. So God bless America. Well, and America over here. God bless Australia over there. So God bless 100%. Both countries.
99 says Russ was missing for really bad reads. He was definitely looking at 100%. We talked about that and had 2 or 3. 100%. There's so much to improve on for sure. But I thought it was a great game.
That's why Gene said Austin.
There
we go. There we go.
He got hit, didn't he? He got hurt.
When he got that first down on the rollout. On the rollout, he got hurt then. Ooh.
That's right. Yeah, then the big play so some bad things happen. I hope he's right with the concussion or whatnot, G'day, Jerry. What's going on? Move. His number 1 receiver. He played fantastic. All right. Jerry, Bubba, we got to go. We got to get out of here because we're going to another tangent.
You got to go to the pub. I got to get my Christmas tree downstairs upstairs. The wife wants a Christmas tree up. Yes.
Downstairs.
It's downstairs, upstairs. I gotta go carry upstairs.
We're gonna start getting ready for me coming over to Pittsburgh. It's getting close.
Hey, you could pop here in this bar anytime, brother. We'll crack some beers.
Probably have way too many. No, I'm having a few. We're going week by week. Week by week. Our Steelers are 7-2, and just keep chipping away. We have the AFC North gauntlet we're going to talk about. Some of the NFL will talk about the AFC North more than this win. They'll go, oh my goodness, scary teams coming up. No, celebrate the win. Celebrate the positive victory. And
tonight, and then tomorrow, it's I hate the Ravens week. Tomorrow, starting tomorrow. Tonight is celebrate us winning, seeing some highlights. Maybe if I could watch some highlights again, and then watching some interviews, and then doing whatever. It's good. It's great when the Steelers win, man. It's great. It makes my day. I'm telling you. I'm a typical Yenzer. If they lose, I'm mad for a week until we play again. So that's just how I go. That's how I am. I'm sorry. So Steeler West guy, believe me, I'm a diehard Steeler fan. If you could see by my wall.
Yeah, West's been around here for a long time. He's been around on a lot of podcasts for about 4 or 5 years. I've known him here. Wes, you're good. You're fine. It's all good.
Yeah, you're good, brother. Plus, you got Steelers in your name. You can't be bad with that.
No, he's good. Wes is awesome.
Everybody in your group and your community is great. Me and Shane love them. You guys are all great, man. Awesome.
All right, let's go. I'll see you guys later. That's a Steelers win. 20.
I can go for some pizza, Gene. Make me a slice of pizza. I'll come down.
Steelers win 28-27. An unbelievable, crazy win in just a great game. Was it a stressful game, but a great game. All right, Bubba.
Stressful.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, Steelers.
Thank you.
Steelers.
Thank you.
See you later.
See ya.
Ready?
I'm ready. Ready.
Ravens week. Ravens, you suck.
I'll
see you guys later. Left the light on. See you later. Bye.